Okay, back at this thing again. I took most of yesterday off. I did a little bit to the other cabinet for the export radio, the GE, but very little. I didn't get the trim upper the top trim and the lower base trim refinished on the thing. I got it done yesterday and got some clear coat on it. And then this here, I forget what the heck I did on this. I did a little something on this. Oh yeah, I did the accoutrements for it. Got it, the knobs and the buttons straightened out and hardened up and everything. And today is Monday, the 21st of August, 2023. When I said we were going to shoehorn this thing in, that's what I mean, literally, shoehorn it. You can see, let's get over here. IF can is blocking out a little bit of that thing. There is just enough room to get that thing in there, and there's enough clearance on the top to get the fiber optics on the base side controls poked through up there at the top around that audio transformer. And be aware that the speaker frame basket, whatever you want to call it, is a real close proximity to the chassis when it goes in, and you get new rubbers on the base. It's barely going to fit, if it does fit at all. Since I added insect screen onto this, it moved that speaker out just a skosh enough to where, and so I had to go through and make a modification to the mounting holes, elongate them a little bit so that I could scooch up the speaker a little bit more to get clearance from that basket there. And she went in all right. You can see how the fiber optics come out of the panel, the dial panel, and hope you can see that. And the squirreling around. Now I cut 12-inch long fibers, so and I didn't cut anything off of them when I put them in. But if you feel that you could shorten them up somewhat to alleviate some of the coiling up of these things here, yeah, do so. Whatever it takes. I just haven't done it because there's enough flex in them that they manage to go in there okay. The only thing you really have to concern yourself with primarily is the penetration into the dial side of the dial panel. You'll have to fasten it in there with a I use go-to glue because it hangs on like a good what is this crap? Oh, silicone. Silicone. Yeah, mine's working right on target. But you can use silicone if you want. Silicone probably hold better than the go-to glue. I use the go-to glue because if you ever have a problem with the fiber optic or the penetration or something to do with that particular thing, characteristic, the go-to glue will give loose if you give it enough pressure. It takes something, a small tiny screwdriver or an X-Acto knife to it. It'll give right loose as soon as you break the seal. So and so it makes it easy cleanup. The silicone you probably have to scrape and rub and gripe and bitch and moan and curse all at the same time in order to clean it up. So that's the reason why I do that. So now that we got it shoehorned in, this here is the auxiliary input. I went this direction because I didn't want to go from chassis to back panel through the wave magnet antenna in order to get everything connected back up, put back in. This here is going to tail out the back end through the wave magnet antenna and the back panel. And I debated whether or not to put a phono radio switch in, but it was just too involved because I would need a connection at the back panel where it would be disconnectable, so that you could remove the antenna after the back panel, and then you could remove the jack, the plug from the jack on the back thing here, because once the chassis goes in, that wave magnet, it just about takes up all the other room. I'm surprised that they managed getting that thing in there and fitted. This doesn't stick out any farther than the wires do on the back of that plug. So that is the reason why I went this route. It's got a 3.5 millimeter stereo plug on the back end. It's just going to pigtail out the back. And what you'll have to do in order to use it, just tune it to a dead portion of the AM band, and plug it in and turn it on, and turn it up. And then when you're done, unplug this, put the little cap, insulating cap back on, and tune it to the station you want. Tune it back to the station you want. But you'll have to tune it to a dead portion of the band in order to use this, or else you'll get interference from the station and the auxiliary device. So now let me turn this thing around so you can see the other side. Alright, there we are. Both things are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the bezel on. I want to get the glass all cleaned up. It's pretty cruddy. And get it polished. And then we'll get it mounted up into the bezel. And we'll get the bezel back on this thing, and I'll show you the next step. So stand by for that. Okay, here's the dial glass. We've got it washed off with a little bit of green and water. You can see that it's got a little bit of a film on the front, not so much on the inside, but on the outside edge, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it polished up, and what I'm going to do is use this Formula 1 scratch out like I always do on all the other stuff that I got to buff out. I use it mostly for glass, but yeah, glass is about all I use it for. And mirrors and whatever. It should take that film off the front. So we're going to go ahead and get that done, and then we're going to get it fitted up into the bezel. So hang on for that. Okay, there we are. Got a little bit of swirling there. I got to take and buff a little bit more with the thing. And by the way, I know I'm not wearing gloves, but wear gloves. It will help alleviate any printing that you might accidentally get on the doggone thing. When I go ahead and put this into the thing, and when I get it mounted onto the cabinet, I will use gloves. So yeah, that scratch out works good. Just about anything will work on it. Polish, it'll remove all that that film that builds up on these convexed lenses. So let me get that thing ready to go, and we'll be back. Okay, there we are. Glass is in. And we got some rubbers, extrusions. I guess that's what you call these, extrusions, for glass right here. There are various kinds that you can get. I get just one kind, fits all. I think I get these from, I don't remember where I get them from. And the links will be, all links will be in the description. I get the Formula One from I think it's AutoZone, or just about anywhere where you can buy polish, car polish. That I think it's either from Radio Days or Retro Radios, or Radio Days. What's it? I don't know. Links will be in the description. Now, I only use these short little pieces like this, about 3/4 of an inch long, in equidistant parts around the thing, and then flex the other things in. Be careful whenever you go to press these clips down on the thing, because you will split and crack the glass. So that's the reason why I only do a little bit of things. So you can see the gaposis there, and there's a method to my madness for that. It's because venting. I don't want when you take these apart in their original form, you're going to find a gasket around the entire thing. Now, some will say, hey, you let bugs into the thing. Well, everything else is opened up, so I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So that's the reasoning behind not putting a full gasket in the thing, is so that we can get some flow through. There'll be some venting here, but not quite as good. There'll be some venting around that too, and around these up here. But this glass is vented all around there, because that's where the lamps are, and that they're going to be producing. They're going to be drawing 150 milliamps each. So I want to make sure that we get some ventilation through there, so that we can exhaust that thing out. So, and if you're using G tubes in the thing for the octals, you're going to be producing some heat. So it might be better to go to the GT tubes and forgo the originality of the thing. I know a lot of people are really anal about having it original, there's a reason why I don't keep it original myself, is because it makes it one of a kind, or two of a kind. And like I say, I've done a number. This is number 7 in this model number, and I wanted each one to be unique, not run of the mill. You see, like I say, you see one, you see them all. I want people to bask in the ownership of their purchase. So anyway, all links will be in the description. Hopefully, if I can remember, I'll have to before I get it published. So now it's on to getting this onto that. So hang on, and we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back. Tedious work, very tedious. This is as slow as you go, because you don't want to risk putting a little scratch from the screwdriver screwing in these little screws. So it's slow and methodical. Okay, so now that we have the bezel on and we got the buttons in, we got the knobbies on, we got these connected back in. And I don't know how well you can see the detail in this. You leave these. Let me get my pig sticker so I don't have to stick my little fat finger in there. You leave these fibers a little short, about a 1/2 inch in or 5/8 inch in, so that you can negotiate these things, slipping them in between these fingers, contacts here. And then you get the screw into the thing and get that mounted on. And then you come back and you take you can take either a hemostat or a miniature pair of needle nose, and jiggle those things through until they just, when this thing's in its out position, farthest out position, bring these fibers and extend them just inside this step here, where that thing goes into a hollow tube. And that way, because if you stick it all the way in, when you go to depress this, looks like I got that thing in a little bit of a bind. When you go to depress that thing in, it will bottom out on the fibers, and the fiber is going to want to spring it back. So you want to initially set them to just inside this hollow part right here, both of them. So that way, whenever you have it in this out position, these fibers are still pointed inside, securely inside the hollow point there. Same way on this side. They're fully out. So that way you get that, and then you jiggle it back in there. Oop. Let me zoom this back out. There we go. Now, when you put this in there, I'm going to have to do something with this. Here we go. Slip the tang back here onto the back portion first, and then push this in so this thing doesn't scratch your bezel. It'll be hidden pretty much, but just to be on the safe side. See if I can do this one-handed. If not, we'll have to do it with 2 hands, and you'll have to see the end result. hook that on the back of that, get that in there, get that on the back of that, back of that. Oops, dang, I'm always pointing down and down, down, down. Okay, there we go. And all your screws to hold it on the bezel will be hidden. So let me get this other side done because I want to do it with two hands so I don't scratch anything, and we'll be back. And there we are, the finished product. Boy, that do be looking good and pretty, I must say. Yeah, good job, Jimmy boy. So so we're out now. All I gotta do is turn her around and do the antenna and get the other things forward up and prepped for the back cover. So stand by for that. We'll be right back. Alright, there's the antenna mounted up. We've got somewhat a little bit of room in there with the antenna in. A lot more than I thought. Not sure what I was thinking sometimes. So anyway, that antenna is set and in place and ready to put the back on, so hang on for that. All right, we're at the end, pretty much. Here's a little piggy tail sticking out for the auxiliary. Yeah. There's the Chevrolet. I'm going to have to take and pull this off later and do a flexation because she kind of curled a little bit from sitting so long. I think this thing has been sitting around waiting for the call way over a year, because I did all three of them at the same time. I bought those radios about 3 years ago. So yeah, this in here's got a little bow to it, so I'm going to take and flex it back the other way, let it sit for a day or two in this moisture. And we're getting some remnant residual stuff from the Hillary. So that is it. So now it's going to be I'll have to wait until the morning to do the scan, the morning scan for this thing on the operation video. Let me turn this thing around and we'll take a final look. And there we are. Hopefully complete. So look for that operation video in the next few days. I'll try to get a morning scan tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll do an evening scan because most of the reception will come in on the low part of the shortwave band. There might be one or two stragglers up on the high side, and then there are probably, I don't know, it depends. I want to see just how well it does, if it brings anything in down here on the police band or the shortwave one, up here above 3.5. I know down 1600 there's our local station, but I want to see if anything comes in on this low part right here. I know I got something at about 550 or something, however low this shortwave tube band goes, the other day, or yeah, the other day. But stay tuned, and we'll have something else, the final one, coming in the next few days. So thanks to everybody for your input and your comments, and your votes. Maybe I'll run for president. Not. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone.